Okay, so let's get into the meat and potatoes for GBPUSD. Very, very, very sloppy over the past couple of weeks. I mean, if you also have a look at the month, so ending the month, whew, it's not looking good, is it? I mean, we spiked into the 123035 region, filled the buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, and traded into the equilibrium. Also traded into the midpoint, consequent encroachment from the lows to the highs. You know what I will do? I'll delete this to make sure the chart's nice and clean. Alright. And we're just stuck in this range, really. I mean, sell side taken. Good chance for us to run up into these highs here. You could maybe see manipulation into the 129, potentially 130 region. It's not really giving me any confidence. I mean, after the sell-off, we had buy stops taken once again, but we sold off into the order block on a monthly time frame. So what we could see is maybe one spike to create the, I don't know, you could trade into the mean threshold. I mean, on the monthly time frame, it's a bit tricky to see, isn't it? But if it was to go into the daily time frame, right, we've got the last up close candle, we traded into it. We've just been selling off for the past 3 weeks. I mean, this 4th week, we closed bullish, but a lot of the action was really, sluggish, so to speak, So on the daily time frame, which I will make this invisible on a weekly, we do have an array which I'll get into. We also have a bullish order block which price could trade into if it was to get down there, but I feel like that's a bit far too stretched out right now. I do believe that the highs of 125944 has a chance of being tested one more time, which would mean that the lows of this prior week's candle, which is at 126, 125, would have to be taken out. Very, very sloppy, as I mentioned before. We do have nice clean highs. We do have the mean threshold, which prices failed to get up into, which would also coincide with the consequent encroachment of the higher time frame monthly fair value gap. If you also have a look at the daily time frame, it's more of like a lockstep ladder to the downside, which doesn't give me that confidence to tell me, oh yeah, it's going to continue to go to the downside. Yeah, I mean, it might continue to go to the downside. 125,800 would be the next point of interest, for the mere fact that we've got a breakaway gap there, fair value gap. Price currently is trading inside of this fair value gap. It's very sluggish. I mean, from the open, buy stops taken, run up into fair value gap, consequent encroachment respected, candle bodies closed right there. See, yes, I'm eyeballing it, but it's very, very precise. 3-pin pattern highs, the shoulders sold off, sell stops taken on. This is the daily time frame, right? After this happened, we ran up into this gap. Well, it's not really a gap because that'll be a wick, right? But we ran up into this area in price, which is the Wednesday dealing range. We got up into the lows of the Tuesday's high, which created the 3-pin pattern, but we closed below the high time frame bearish order block, right? Now the confidence for me to say, okay, price is going to continue to the upside, it's not really that strong. It's not giving me that, utmost, confidence, especially for the Friday where we traded to the downside, attacked the open of the prior day, 3-pin pattern. Don't get me wrong, the stops were taken, but it's not sufficient enough, So going into this week, I'll be neutral because anything could potentially happen. I mean, buy stops could be taken, sell stops could be taken. I mean, I've mapped it out where you got the fair value gap, you got stops taken, consequent encroachment failed to be met. So, I mean, gun to my head, I'll do something along the lines of this, but I'm not going to be putting any money behind this. This is what I'd be looking out for, but I'm going to be going neutral. Alright, only for the fact that we got stops that's taken there, but at the same time we could just fail and just run even lower. So I mean the weekly stops taken one more time. So next point of interest could be buy stops, and we've got an imbalance in that area there. But it would more time be the highs there. So 126,623, then obviously 126,700, and then yeah, gun to my head. That's what I'm aiming for. But I'm gonna be neutral going into next week. But throughout the week, I'll keep you guys updated because, as you guys know, the more data, the more information that has been gathered and then analyzed, the more confidence that I'll be able to have to make a solid decision. So, if that being said, I'll wrap it up. Peace.